What is up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, your host and international award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker, Jeff Marconette Jr. Now, I am so pumped up tonight. I know, I'm always pumped up, but I am really pumped up tonight because the guest that we have tonight actually canceled on us. But I found somebody just as good. And she is actually from Australia, guys, where it is like 8 in the morning right now. Like, what? It's pretty awesome. But in order to show her our support and our gratitude for her showing up, I ask you if you would please share this episode out, comment on this episode, and make sure you like this episode because it is going to be a very enlightening journey, and I find that to be awesome. But with no further ado, I would like to bring to the stage Miss Samantha. How are you, Samantha?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great, Jeff.
That's great. And I should say top of the morning to ya.
Top of the morning here it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's a sunny
So
day here.
if you would like to go ahead and take it away, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. So who you are, where you're from, and what you do. I'm going to be inviting a few people on my phone. So if I'm looking down, I'm still paying attention.
Okay, beautiful.
All right, thanks.
So hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. My name's Sam Seymour, and I'm a mental health counsellor, now a motivational speaker, which is really exciting for me. I'm from Adelaide in South Australia, obviously Australia. So Adelaide is what's considered like a small town, but it is a city, and we are the city of churches. At the moment, it's a beautiful day here, and we're about 20, I think it's going to be 24. So it is perfect. Oh, because, yeah, we go by 24. I don't know how to convert that into American, but yeah, it's a beautiful day, and I'm pumped to be here, and I can't believe I'm talking across the world. It's cool.
It is quite the opportunity to be able to have somebody from so far away on my show. I'm just completely and utterly shocked by that.
It's a beautiful universe, isn't it, when two people can meet like this?
Yes, it is. So I have to ask. Hang on, sorry. All right. So I know I named the episode Learn How Her Diagnosis Led to a Very Enlightening Journey of Self-Discovery. But what diagnosis am I talking about there?
So I have multiple sclerosis, MS. I have relapsing remittent MS, and through that I've also got a permanent disability where my nerves, I'm basically numb from the waist down. So my nerves all kind of misfire now, and it's a bit of a mess in my nervous system. That's due to a lesion on my back, which has made everything go a bit skewed. Yes.
So what exactly is the lesion on your back from?
Well, they don't really know what causes MS. I've got my own theory. I think it's stress related. I think we get to a certain point. Well, I certainly did in my life where the stress was so compounded that I think my body just went, you need to stop. And and that's what I firmly believe, that it went, you need to stop. How do we get you to stop? But the lesion, usually they're in your brain. I've got them in my brain as well. And they just start to get your body to eat its myelin. It sounds really terrible, but the nervous system is coding. So that all starts to go awry, I suppose.
Yeah. So, how exactly does your MS affect you? Can I ask? I mean, I don't want to be
Yeah.
nosy.
No, no, no. I'm very open book with this. So it's very different now to when it first happened because this journey. I mean, I'm 4 years down the track now, so I've been able to build a life with my disability, and I think soldier through is probably the best way, and find ways to be able to walk and do all that, even though it's extremely uncomfortable. I think I've got used to it. So it affects me in that I have fatigue, so I get fatigued really easily. I get brain fog, which is really challenging. Um, Especially on those days when you wake up and you can't actually string a sentence or you can't find words, and that's really hard.
Yeah.
So they're the two real big ones. Yeah, there's quite a lot goes there. Heat fatigue. So when it's hot, I can't really be out in the heat. That exasperates all those symptoms. So it's
Yeah.
quite a
Well, the heat kind of bothers me as well, but I don't
yeah.
have MS. So, I wonder if the brain injury that I had affected me in some of the same ways that your MS affects you.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably
Because
very
they're
light.
both neurological issues, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very
Wow.
much. Yeah, it's very interesting. It is very interesting. Yeah.
Yes. So I hate to step on your toes or anything like that. But so I personally, I mean, this is fine if you don't say it like this, but to me, I don't have disabilities and you don't have disabilities. You see, you and I both have different abilities. And now,
Yes.
when I say this, all right. So I used to help out with this program with kids with developmental different abilities, and when I was in the classroom with them one day, I was talking to this one kid, and I knew that he played basketball. He was on a team, and he was good. And I looked at him. I said, "Okay, we'll just call him Tom for this." But I said, "Okay, Tom. So I want to ask you something." He said, "Yeah." I said, "You play basketball, correct?" He said, "Yeah." I said, I can't really play basketball any longer." And I said, "Can you run?" He said, "Yeah." I said, I can't run anymore." And I said, "Can you dribble the ball well?" He says, "Yeah, I can dribble it really well. I can go in between the legs, behind the back, and I can even shoot really well." And I'm like, wow, I can't do any of that stuff. Uh, are those things disabilities for me?
Mm.
And he sat there for a few minutes and he looked all around and he looked confused, and I was like, "Well, what do you think?" He said, "No, it's not like that. Those are different abilities. Those aren't disabilities." I'm like, "See, you have different abilities
Yeah.
from me because he doesn't talk right, which I mean, I don't I don't speak right either. He has some other issues that I don't have, but those aren't disabilities. They're different abilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
So I know I went on a rant there for a few minutes,
That's
but
okay.
so I'm curious, like, all right, how does it make you feel? Do you feel different than other people, or
Yeah, look, and that's a great question, and I think I agree with you. I mean, I don't particularly like the word disability, but I think in Australia, I don't know what the climate's like there, but it's very focused on looking at everything as a disability in order to get the supports you need. The NDIS
Yes,
system is all
kind of the
disability
same.
related. And it's awful because you sit in it and, strong, we were talking about being super, feeling like a super person, but then you've got to sit in this awful climate of telling them all the things that are deficits in you, all the things that you can't do and your worst day and all that. And I think you get into that and it becomes that, and you're right, it's a different way of looking at it. I think for me, because mine's such a hidden disability or ability, but it's so hidden that it's almost like I need that word to tell people that I need support and empathy, and it's really difficult when you present like you're okay. You know what I mean? And the COVID stuff really was hard too, because I didn't want to wear a mask because it would make it worse, yet people would say things to me, and it's just been a very hard climate. So I get the disability stuff, but it's a challenge, that.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So well, I don't want to get into politics and
Yeah.
stuff, but what exactly is the insurance and the healthcare system in Australia like?
It's absolutely brilliant. Talk about gratitude. I'm very grateful to have it. So we have what's called the National Disability Insurance Scheme here, which means anybody who's got a disability, sorry, we're going to use that word.
You're all right.
Anyone that's got that disability and can prove that it's lifelong and all that, we're given a certain amount of money, and it's actually quite a lot of money for a lot of people. And over, say we get a plan for 2 years and we get, $80,000 or whatever. In that time, we can get all the supports we need paid for. So, for me, I get cleaning, I get a gardener, I get support workers, I get respite so I can go away for the night and it is brilliant, and I am so grateful to be on it. And so that helps with everything in your life. So it's brilliant. Gotta say, it's brilliant.
Do you guys have like a national healthcare, or is it private?
No, so we have what's called Medicare here. So everything we do. So if I need to go to hospital and it's a public hospital, I don't have to pay for any of that. It's very different to, I think, your system. And and so I can present now and go to hospital for a week and I won't have to pay for it. If I wanted to go to a better hospital or a private hospital, then I might have to get insurance and then they pay that. But anything that happens to me, I might have to pay $20 out of pocket, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
it
So
is.
I need to say hello to a few people here.
Yep.
So we have my dad watching. Hi, Dad. We
Hi, Dad.
have Adam Mark Robinson, who is watching us from somewhere in England. I forget
Oh,
exactly where. And then we have Ben Bruce Fane Jr., who is watching us from Lagos, Nigeria. Now,
hey,
Samantha here is from, all right, now I'm Adelaide.
Adelaide. Yes,
Adelaide.
Adelaide. Yep.
All right, Adelaide, Australia. So it is top of the morning to her. And I know that sounds more Irish or Scottish, but
Probably g'day from Adelaide. That's what we'll say.
good day,
G'day, mate.
hey mate. So uh, we Adam is saying here in the comments that mental health is a huge struggle for him. He has been on bridges and places thinking about suicide, and he had a strong thought. So how have you dealt the with everything with your diagnosis that helped you in be enlightened and go on this journey of self-discovery?
Okay, so in the beginning, it was very difficult. You know, you talk about mental health being, it was pretty much rock bottom for me. I'm sitting in the room here where I curled up in a ball in a fetal position for days, crying my eyes out, and just this reality, just whew, down the rabbit hole I went. It was dark, and it was really, really hard. But what I did, and I think this helps because I'm a counsellor as well, is that I gave myself permission to feel whatever I felt. I didn't, I said to myself, you don't have to feel any other way, right? This darkness has to be here because you're grappling with something that you don't understand, you know? And I think that was the first point, was allowing me to feel that I had terror. When I looked at it and I looked at everything that was going on, there was terror. I had no hope for the future. I had all these things going on. But that was my biggest thing in that moment, was to allow myself. And then I started to unpack what was actually going on for me. What I had to start identifying what those roadblocks were. What were my thought patterns? Why was I stuck in this? Does that make kind of sense to you?
Yeah,
And
definitely
then
does.
yeah, and then it was this amazing, because I did reach out and I did get support. So that's the one thing I would say to anyone who's struggling. Please don't do this alone. And I don't know about your supports where you are, but we have here Lifeline, and we have, you know, with MS, we have the MS Society. I reached out, I got on the phone and had a wonderful nurse who would listen to me cry. I literally just rang her and just cried. And then one day she said to me, what's your biggest fear? And I went, oh, actually, I don't know. And that was the point where I got, actually, now I have to identify what my biggest fear is. She helped me get out of that rut that I was in.
So asking what your biggest fear was
Yeah.
actually helped you?
It did, because it actually stopped me in my tracks, because I went, oh, what is my biggest fear? And I said to her, my biggest fear is I'll never be the same again. And she said to me, that might be a very good thing too. It depends on how you look at it. And that was my point. That was the point where I went, actually, yeah, you're right. But what I would say for anyone that's going through, you know, a dark time is please don't do this alone. It's okay to feel what you feel at this moment. You know, even if it's hard, you don't have to talk your way out of, you know, I need to be happy, or I need to do this, I need to do that. If the one thing you do today is breathe for the day, you have achieved your goal.
That is so true. There are so many people that just think that they have to feel a certain way, and they can't feel this way. I know it became pretty big to be able to say that it's okay not to be okay. But
Yep,
it's true.
it's true.
But you need help when you're not okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They try to go at it alone, but they
yeah.
don't have to.
They don't have to. And you know, and I don't know whether you've reached out to any kind of helpline or whatever in your life, but you know how okay you feel after you've spoken to someone. It's so much lighter, and you know, you've connected with someone, they've listened to you, it lightens everything up. And you know, that's why we have these support lines. I'm a very big advocate for reaching out and getting that support from, and sometimes from people we don't know is probably the best way to go too. They don't want to fix it, because people we know want to fix your problem. People, you need someone that just wants to listen to what you're going through and be able to empathize and be able to just sit in that mud with you. That is the power of that.
So how, in what way has your journey of self-discovery been enlightening?
In so many ways, it's really funny. I went for a walk not long ago with my dog, and this is where I do all my thinking. And I asked myself the question, would I go back and not have MS? And I thought about it, I went, whoa, hang on, I've got to think about this. And I came to the conclusion, no, I wouldn't, because this has given me such a power to live in the moment, to ground myself in the here and now, to not overthink the future. And that's an immense power if you can do that, because everything's kind of all right in this moment. It's a strange thing to do, but boy, is it powerful. And I think that's the biggest enlightenment I have. The future's not set. Nothing in the future's set. Not even today's set. But here and now, you're okay. If you know, does that make sense? Does that?
Yes, it does completely. Because I know, like, so I've been going through physical therapy for 22 plus years now. And there have been some times that I felt like giving up. I felt like, hey, I don't want to keep doing this therapy thing. It's painful. It's not fun. And I continue to go back to it, but it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't change anything in my past either, because I know I went through a car accident. I went through 2.5 months in a coma and 3.5 in the hospital, and 22 plus years of physical therapy. But without that, I wouldn't be who I am. Without going through that, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this show right now. I wouldn't be trying to help other people figure out that they can live their best life, and they can do it now. They don't have to go through what I went through to find out that they can live their best life. And that
It's
is
magic. Oh, it's
yeah,
amazing. It's a magic. And, you're right. You and me wouldn't be talking now. We wouldn't. And that gives you this immense amount, this sense of purpose in your life. And I think the two things we need is connection and sense of purpose. And suddenly we've been given that. It's a different lens to look through things. And wherever we are, there's always another way to look at stuff. And that, you just got to find a different way of seeing things.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about your perspective on things. And
is.
if you can take that perspective from somebody else that has gone through something that horrible or something extremely challenging, then why not take that perspective from them? Why not let them go through it and you just take the points from it that they learned?
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had a fantastic conversation before the show, guys, and I really wish I had recorded that, but I didn't. So, but you guys need to realize that as people, we all have issues. We all have problems. We all have something going on in life. And if you don't right now, just wait. It's coming. I promise you.
Yeah.
And I want to help people. And I'm sure Samantha wants to help people figure some things out before they need them. because if we can prepare you for going through a situation, then that's our, what'd you call it?
Superpower.
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 That is awesome.
I love, Jeff, I love what you just said, right? Because I think the issue for a lot of people is we think we need to be happy all the time. Now, that's an impossibility because, and I'm not being negative here, but life is about pain as well. And we go through so many changes in our life. You know, I just went through empty nester, whoa, challenge, but life is going to throw you these curveballs. And you know what? It's a moment in time. The power of those changes and the struggle we have is a moment in time, and I guarantee in a year's time it's going to be less. But if we act in that moment in time, we're acting without our full actualization of our lives. If that again makes sense, we don't
it
respond.
totally makes sense, and I appreciate all of those words because it's just something that needs to be said. So, but we're running out of time here for our conversation. It's gone so quickly tonight. I'm really surprised by it. But so I have to ask, is there any contact information or websites or anything that you would like to give out?
Oh, absolutely. You know, so my website is www.newstartcounselling, double L, because I know you guys spell it differently, double L in the counselling, .net.au. And you can reach out on email, which is info@newstartcounselling.net.au. Or hit me up on Facebook on New Start Counselling and Psychotherapy. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to, you know, ask me questions. You know, this is a journey we can all go on together. Yeah, and again, you know, I'll say it again, when you're not alone in this. People have come before you, and we're here to help you. It's a passion. It's a purpose. You know.
That is great, and I'm sure that some people will reach out to you from being on this. But if you would, could you please send me all your contact information
Definitely.
so I can put it in the show notes and stuff after the show?
Definitely would love to.
Awesome. I appreciate that very much. But guys out there, I want you to do me a favor this week, next week, and for the rest of your life. Oh, wait, sorry. This includes you too, Samantha. So you all have to do me a favor this week, next week, and for the rest of your life. You have to make every second count. Why? Because you never know when the seconds will run out on your one life. That's all you get.
Beautiful.
I'll see you guys back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, don't forget to make every second count.
Thanks guys.
Thank you
for having
again,
me.
Samantha.
Thank you so much. Thank you.